my D&D groups. I was DMing. I guess you DM for that game. everybody. Welcome to a Fistful of Value, a root actual play right here on TTRPG. I am Miguel. I will be the GM this evening. Before we kick off our festivities, they're not festivities. Let's go ahead and meet our exciting players. So, everybody, let's tell folks at home who you are. We'll wait on character introductions right until a little bit later, but let's just go ahead and meet everybody. Let's start with Amanda. And then you toss it to someone. I'm not picking next.
All right. Hi, I am Elle. I am excited to be here, excited to be a player, and excited to be with this wonderful cast of vagabonds. And I am going to throw it over to Cassidy, hoping that she does not drop it.
Well, now I'm going to. Hello. My name is Cassidy. I have not done a show in a very long time, so I was bound to drop it. It's my first time here on TTRPG, and I am very excited to play an adorable little critter, and I will throw it over to Jules.
Cool. Barely catching it. I am Jules. I use he, they pronouns. It is also my first time here on TTRPG. I am a huge T fan, and you can find me everywhere at the tag Ultra Cryptic. I'm super excited to be a silly little guy, even more so than I normally am in my day-to-day life. So, yeah, that's about that.
And I'm so glad you said that, because what is Root exactly? For those who don't know, Root is a TTRPG where you do, in fact, take on the role of a silly little critter in a fun little woodland that happens to be in the conflicts of a really big war. That part's sad. But I forgot where I was going. Yeah, so we'll be playing that. Root is made by Magpie Games. They are awesome. Obviously, if you don't know, they are. But if you do, then you already know. But it is actually inspired by a game of the same name called Root, a game of Woodland Might, I think is right, is the subtitle, which is actually like a board game, kind of like Risk, where you control one of the major factions in the game world and try to take control of the woodland itself. And then the TTRPG models itself after that conflict. You're just like a person, single little person vagabond in this world. So our setting is actually called Midwater. The game Root itself always just refers to the area as the woodland. I give mine a name because things need names. So we'll be playing in the woodland of Midwater, which is in itself in the throes of war between the Airy dynasties, made up of various bird nobilities that have come together to face and try to, let's say, expel the Marquise from the woodland, from Midwater. The Marquise is a faction, a group that has come in from Le Monde de Cat, from faraway lands, led by the Marquis herself, wanting to stake her claim in the world and take the woodland as her own personal duchy, province. Let's go with province, and add it to the Empire de Cat, or whatever it's called. It's actually it's Le Monde de Cat, but it's led by an empress. But then the word's in French, so I always get it wrong. That's how it is. So that's where we are. That's where we are now. Let's go ahead and then, in the same order we did intros, we'll say, dive a little bit more into our characters themselves. Give us, your name, what kind of critter are you, your background, etc. And then after that, a really fun part of the game is we're going to do some character connections. We're going to let the characters decide how exactly they know each other and what their relations are, etc., etc., etc. So, Amanda, tell us more about Frog. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's on the lake shore. It's less swampy. The swamps are more in the southern, like the marshes, in the southern part of Midwater. So yeah, you're like just like a nice lakeside town, lakeside clearing. Yeah. Who tarnished your name? Who did it? Who tarnished your name? How did it tarn? Okay. Spicy. Who done it? Got it. So who you mentioned being a deserter. Who did you make dessert for? What who did you desert from? Like where did you run off from? Oh.
There we go. OBS decided that my mic wasn't going to be connected. So meanwhile, anyway, in case anyone missed that, my character's name is Lily. They are a toad. They have
Gotcha.
had their name tarnished, and they used to work with the Eyrie, but now are working with the Woodland Alliance. Or sort of a freelancer, but sort of recently fallen in with the Alliance, but not necessarily officially aligned.
Yeah. As a vagabond, you're never really part of a faction. You all are perpetual outsiders, right? So while you may be cozy with the Woodland Alliance, they never call you a member, you know?
Yeah, I'm basically a warrior for hire at this point.
That's how it be sometimes. Okay. Who was next?
I think it's me.
Sure. Yes.
All right. So Rain is they use they them, as do I. I forgot to say that in my intro, but we both use the same pronoun, so it's very convenient. Rain was once a part of the Aerie Dynasty's warriors and got a lot of their training through that. And they were involved in a civil war between different factions of the Aerie Dynasty. Previously, they had lived in Willow's Peak, but when they took a stand against the Peregrine King with their own family, things took a turn for the worst, and their side ended up losing. And though they were never to face repercussions from the Peregrine King himself due to their years of loyal service, they still couldn't face their failure and fled due to the fear of perhaps social isolation or rejection by the people that they had once served. And having fled back into the general wilderness, they're sort of seeing the effects of the Aerie Dynasty for the first time, and it's very disconcerting for them. So they've now sort of become a bit of a sellsword, and they're pretty much offering themselves up to most factions. However, they do have some bad blood with the Marquise, just based off of how they had served previously and some old grudges. And they're sort of adrift right now. They fear going back to their homeland and facing the judgment, or possibly worse, the forgiveness of the people that they care about. So they're just sort of wandering around trying to help people as best they can, trying to put up a front of being grizzled and grumpy when in actuality they've got a big heart and very starry eyes.
Sorry. Just taking it all in. And you are sorry, you're a what type of?
A Ronin.
But your animal as well.
Oh, yes, I'm a hooded crow. That's also important. It's a whole big thing. I was very excited about it because I love birds.
Excellent. Okay, so we have our Ronin, we have our Arbiter, who's a frog, who went after you.
I do believe I'm next.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
that sounds familiar.
So I'm Stick.
Hello.
Stick is a possum. Stick is a possum tinkerer,
Yes, please.
and I am very excited to be a little guy. I love possums. Stick wears like a crown of, but it's not flowers. It's just pure sticks. It is dead sticks with dried leaves. It is a stick crown, and has the biggest backpack imaginable, like the size of her. Stick uses she/her pronouns, as do I, which I also forgot to say. But her backpack is the size of her. It is on her back, and how she doesn't fall over, no one knows. She carries the tiniest little hammer that only she knows what it's for. No one can quite figure out what she uses it for, but she loves it. It's her little hammer. And she just loves to go around and figure out what she can make and what she can do and who she can help and what kind of stuff she can do. And if things are breakable and fixable or just breakable, that works too. She just likes to wander around and look for what she can do to help or dismantle or whatever helps her figure out how to do something else later.
Or dismantle. I love everything, like all of that. Let's talk about that backpack. May I make a
Yes.
suggestion, a proposal as a
Yes.
GM? So you are a tinkerer, which means you are very crafty. You know, you're handy with tools. You're an obviously you're all adventurers, but inventor. That's the word I'm looking for. So I think your backpack is just like you've tinkered on it, like it's one of your projects. So there's like a counterbalance. There's maybe like leg straps or something. So it's like you're never gonna fall.
Oh
right?
yeah, but it always looks like she should.
Gotcha.
Like it doesn't to anyone else. It's like this balancing act doesn't work, and everyone's just waiting for her to just tip.
Not gonna happen.
But she knows it's not gonna happen.
Excellent. And may I ask one real quick question? I love the Tinkerer. It's one of my faves. For your toolbox, what were your features? I just want to know.
Features or drawback? What are you asking?
Both, I guess. For features first.
Well, drawback, I did bulky and obvious.
So is it like your back?
Which is why it's massive. Yeah.
Love it. I love it. Okay.
And then I did assorted gears and springs and esoteric hand tools, which is why she has the tiniest little
Holy
hammer.
shoot. Okay, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. And then let's talk about River.
River is an envoy vagabond, and he uses he/him pronouns and is the tiniest, floofiest little goose you've ever seen with a cute little bow tie on. And he has a bit of a history with the River Folk Company, as you might imagine. But kind of decided that maybe the best way to kind of get some more trinkets and goods to sell was by dealing with other various factions. And that kind of led to a bit of a falling out. And he is now kind of just sort of similarly to Lily, just kind of freelancing around, looking to kind of make the connections that he can in order to get some silly little shiny objects that maybe he can sell for value to another person that'll trade it for something else, and so on and so forth. So he's just a silly little goose merchant who's honking his way about town. Yeah, he's a little guy.
Likes trinkets. Okay. I just need everyone to know that one of the notes I took just says Merchant Hong Kong little guy.
Merchant Hong Kong. That says it all. Whatever I can do to get a good deal, you know.
Yep.
That's what my goose is about.
Okay. And so the next thing we're going to do, because I thought it would be fun to do this all on the stream, is we're going to talk about y'all's connections. So the connections are a special mechanic in Root for those who are not in the know, which allow you to sort of share some of your bonuses or skills with other characters in certain situations, or you can help each other out because of this bond you've formed with the others in your group. So we're this time going to go in reverse order. That's right, changing it up, keep you on your toes. So let's talk about River's connections. Your first one is Watcher, right? This person reminds you of a powerful political figure of the woodland. Who do they resemble? Why is the resemblance so striking? And when it says powerful, blah, 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 you get to just make that person up, right? So don't ask me for NPC names because I'm not going to give you.
Cool. I kind of was thinking out of the three other characters here, that might be Rain due to their background of like, oh, hey, maybe this reminds me of someone in the Aerie dynasty that I've made a nice little trade with before. You're a crow, like you're a hooded crow. I love crows. They love shinies too. And there's a very powerful, silly little crow in the Aerie dynasty that has a lot of shinies that I like to get. So, and you remind me a lot of them. I don't have a good name for them, but I'm just gonna go with, it can be whatever Miguel wants. But I definitely think Rain would fit that for my silly little guy. So I'm gonna write that down. Otherwise, I will forget it.
That's fair. That's very fair. If you give me like 2 seconds, I can come up with an NPC name.
Up to you.
The name is Crawley Four Talons.
Ooh,
I love it.
That's fun.
CRAWLEY. And then like
Perfect.
4-talons, but like the number, not like FOUR.
Perfect. Love it.
Irie, like he's like a lower noble, like lower nobility in the Aerie dynasties.
Irie, the bird.
Who knows?
Burbs.
The bird guy.
The burbs. Let's say Crawley lives in Quaffle Town.
Aw, Quaffle Town. That's again just the cutest little name.
And it's just a sleepy little hamlet in the foothills.
Yeah. Carlotta's Keep.
Pretty good place. Okay, and then let's talk about your second connection. You have a friend in the group too. So you have a watcher, someone be watching you. And who would you call your friend? You travel with this person for a time right after you became a vagabond. They've helped keep you safe, showed you the woodland, and you gave them a keepsake. So who is it and what was it?
Me?
Yeah, it's still you.
Yeah.
Mine has Pier. I'm looking at the wrong thing.
No, actually, I think I'm looking at the wrong things. I have 2 books open. It is Pier.
Cool. I was like, I don't want to talk if it's someone else's one, but yeah, I have Pier, which is wildly different, which is why I was like, whoa.
My bad. Yeah.
You're good.
We'll fix it in post. It's fine.
It's okay.
Yep, I'm actually being told this is live.
Oh no. Everyone forget the last minute. Incredible. They all forget.
And fast forward and we're here. Okay. So yeah, who's your peer? You and they negotiate a truce between 2 warring parties. So who were those? Within a clearing, why was this person so important to closing the deal?
I really think Sticks, pun entirely intended, out to me for this one. I think maybe this is how the 2 of us met, where there were a couple different warring parties, and she happened to have a little trinket that I was a big fan of, and we kind of said like, oh, hey, you guys are fighting over this little trinket. Maybe we can work together over like kind of like a bidding war situation. Make the trinket, like maybe we could make another one so you guys can each have one. instead of, starting another fight amidst this other larger scale war that's going on. And so maybe this gives us a background of like, oh, I like little trinkets, you like to tinker, we can make things together. I'm a big fan of that. I don't know which specific warring parties might have been there in terms of Stick's background, but maybe like maybe the
let's say you each name one.
Yeah.
And just one of the factions, any of the factions are just like make up like a random group of denizens, like the farmers of Red Paw Manor,
Oh my God, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
Bitch.
You got it. How did you know?
So let's say the conflict happened in Red Paw Manor.
Cool.
One side were the local agrarians, farmers and stuff. And then Stick, I believe you get to who were the farmers arguing for over what?
Probably the Marquis.
Marquise. So they are the ruler. So like the Marquise there is represented by Cornelius Redpaw. So maybe the Lord himself.
Ooh, the people versus the Lord. I like that.
It doesn't end well. Let's just.
Hey guys.
For those of y'all that read the history of Red Paw Manor, things don't end well for people on the other side of Cornelius' sword.
I was gonna say, I that's one part that I read. That was literally gonna say, maybe something with Red Paw Manor.
That's why they call him the Red Paws. It's not. He ain't nice.
Pretty.
Well, we're gonna say. Okay, so you have a friend in Stick, and you have a peer in Stick helped you close that deal, and a watcher in Rain. Let's say the trinket, it was like a blueprint for some kind of really good farming equipment or something. The farmers wanted it to help, themselves. And then the Marquise was like, maybe actually shouldn't.
I actually have an exact idea for what it could be.
Please,
go
yes.
for it.
So
that's what this is all about.
You know those crochet hat things where you turn the thing? I imagine it's like that, sort of like that, except instead of crochet hats, it weaves baskets.
Ooh. Auto basket weaver.
Okay. Basket. Yes. Basket. This is tight. And then I actually just confused my own lore. The Marquise does not hold control over Red Paw Manor. The Airy dynasties do. So there's like maybe some Marquise agents trying to convince the farmers to just sell that to them. And it would go against, their best interests. A lot of Root is acting against your own best interests. I hope y'all are ready for that.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I'm ready to give up so many shinies, even though I want them so bad.
Who doesn't? Okay. So I think that gives us those. I think then we've moved back to Stick. And who are your connections as a tinker? You get. Allow me to.
Professional, the first
Wrong book.
one.
Wrong book again. If you have it in front of you, and
I
pull it
do,
up faster,
yes.
please do.
Okay, so professional.
Bookmarks don't help when you have so many bookmarks.
Blank and I have been working together for a while. We read each other's moods easily. I think I'm probably River, because we did have a successful mission already. And then family, Blank and I had each other's backs when we were run out of a clearing because our natures got out of hand. I'm thinking maybe Lily.
Lily has a thumb. Yeah.
I probably got a little too excited about breaking stuff to build more stuff, but they didn't like me breaking stuff.
I love this whole.
Especially if the stuff didn't belong to you.
Valid point.
Yeah.
So says the frog. What clearing did you get run out of?
Oh, I didn't read. I have the clearing I'm from, which is I am from Wellbury. But I
so
do
nice.
not know Mousetown. Let's say as I look at this amazing little map. let's say I'm just gonna pick one. Nope, not that one, because that's the one I'm from.
You can also just roll a d12, but then you'd have to organize them. You'd have to number them first. I could take a while.
Disgusting.
The Darkwood.
Darkwood's
Is
just
that-
a territory.
Is that not a clearing?
It's
Oh.
it's just a
Oh,
no,
it's
sorry.
just-
The ones with the black labels are just like landmarks or
Oh.
physical features. So it's like a
Let's-
wood. There's the mountains. There's the marshland.
Let's go Peregrine's Perch.
Excellent. The capital of the Airy dynasties.
Oh, I don't know. I just picked one.
No, that's
Oh,
beautiful. I love it.
no.
You can pick any clearing you want. I love this. I love what the narrative implications of this. Also, since you were both kicked out of that clearing, whatever you did was bad enough to get kicked out, both of you please take one notoriety with the Airy dynasties.
Oh no.
Actions have
Oh no, our actions have
consequences.
consequences. Y'all beat me to it.
This isn't the dragon game. You don't just get money and things when you kill everyone.
Oh man, I actually have like the reputation bar means something. Oh no.
Do I get? I'm gonna poke back. Do I get positive reputation for my thing with River for our trade agreement? With the Marquise?
No,
Easy? No.
not
I'm
today.
okay with that. We're vagabonds. We're notoriety,
try.
baby.
I had to try.
No, I respect it. Yeah. So those are your two connections. You have a family in Lily. Now you all both are banned. We'll say maybe like not permanently banned. You'll run out of that. Run out of Peregrine's Perch, home of the Peregrine King. No, he's dead now. R.I.P. the king.
Oh no, he's dead.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Peregrine King has perished. Currently sitting on the throne is his young fledgling daughter, who's also a hawk.
All those hawks.
Oh, those hawks.
Oh,
But
those hawks.
effectively, what's her name? Steward of the Realm, Malortia Bloodwing, Vulture,
Ooh.
is both the guardian of the queen, the young queen, and effectively Midwater itself. Well, because, both factions, both the Airy dynasties and the Marquise who are warring over the woodland, have claimed it. You're like, this is ours. And then the Marquise is like, no, it's ours. So like, as far as the Airy is concerned, they rule everything, but they don't really. No one does. Anyway, enough. What is that? Enough sidebars. Let's talk about Rain and their connections.
All right, I've got two. So the first up is partner. So I worked with someone on my first real task of significance in the woodland, deposing a dangerous authority figure of a faction. Who did we depose and why? So I think I'm going to tap Lily for this. Because I feel like Lily would be down to depose a dangerous authority figure. And I think it was...
Lily, would you be down?
Yes, actually, when we get to my question, that actually answers one of mine. So,
It was...
a 2-in-1 combo.
It was likely when Rain was still with the Airy dynasty a little bit before they became a vagabond.
Okay.
So I think that it was someone against the Airy dynasty. I think that how long ago, because I can't find it mentioned, did the Red Paw Manor happen?
So Cornelius was a young mouse, fresh.
Okay.
A fresh captain in the guard,
Okay.
in the army when he took over. But it's been maybe a decade, we'll say. So
A little bit too old for Rain, I think.
Okay.
So I think that there was a Marquesian little group.
Marquesian.
Yes.
Okay.
And they had taken a spot in Willow's Peak, which is Rain's hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And so Rain came back from Peregrine's Perch and the Royal Academy to their first real knighthood job, fight off this Marquesian occupation. I am going to name the occupier Marion de la Chat. And I think that Lily and I, with Rain's strategy and Lily's brawn, I think they were able to work together as a very cohesive team. And you can obviously chime in on this, Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mhm.
yeah, that all of that sounds like fantastic. And it was Marion de la Shaw.
Yes.
So that absolutely fits with my background.
And I think that maybe like Rain and Lily kind of lost touch a little bit after that, but it was something that really bonded them. And now that they're back in that group, they can really have the chance to reconnect again. So I think Rain's very excited to reconnect with their battle buddy. And then Watcher. I feel a little bit bad leaving Stick out of this, but it says specifically that I see many reminders of my old master. And I don't think that a disciplined warrior would necessarily line up with how Stick is built.
Oh.
But I appreciate Stick very much. And I think that she's very cool. But I am going to tap River for that one, because I think that River's sort of charisma and business know-how and the strategy that he has really reminds Rain of their old knight Sir Talon, who taught
Ooh.
them everything that they knew about battle strategy and like rubbing elbows with more noble people and making good deals. And I think that they see a lot of that in River. So as River is watching them, because of their connections and similarities to a monarch, they are watching River because of the similarities to a knight. So I think
I
that that's
love
going
that.
to make for a very interesting dynamic.
Yes,
This is funny.
I love it.
I love this so
Perfect.
much. Okay, you have a watcher, you have a partner. Now let's talk about Arbiter. Sorry, Lily. I blank on names so hard, y'all. I'm gonna do this every session, so don't just get used to it, I guess.
Yeah, I failed to mention that
All
Lily's an
good.
arbiter, which is kind of sounds pretty much like a paladin cleric sort of character type. So
But
my
no magic.
connection is protector, and I once protected blank from a mortal blow during a fight, and I would do it again. And why? And obviously, I think my commander, whose name is I don't know.
Oh no, this would be one of your vagabonds here.
Oh, one of the vagabonds here.
One of the homies. Yeah.
One of the homies.
Yeah, one of the friends.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. Like part of me is like, oh, I definitely have to be sick.
I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna say
because-
anything, but it just makes the most sense.
Yeah,
I was
Yeah.
also thinking it, but wasn't gonna say it.
We were
Like,
all-
We were
yeah,
all
We were all
thinking
thinking
it.
it.
yeah.
Someone said it finally.
If anyone needs help, probably Stick.
I was about to say
Aw.
Stick is. I feel like Stick wouldn't be the most battle aware person.
No, Stick's
Tinker's
not
never on.
combat
or
built.
possum rather. so
Okay,
yeah, I feel like I have to watch over Stick.
Who was this that almost our good friend Stick? You know.
Oh no.
Well, yeah, and it doesn't have to be specific. It can be like it was
dare?
like a Marquise foot soldier or a denizen with a frying pan. You know, I don't know.
Oh, I was about to say I was gonna say Marquis, but I liked Denizen with a frying pan because maybe Stick tampered a little too much.
Oh,
You
that's
messed up my
perfect.
frying pan. Bonk.
Tinkered a little
It
too
was
much.
shiny.
Yeah.
Tinkered a little too close to the sun.
I could have used it.
Maybe it was like some kind of like denizen merchant or something.
Okay. Yeah. And so we got all that. What what is it about Stick though that makes you think you would do it again, like, without hesitation?
I see Stick as being very, like, despite Stick's tendencies, I think Stick's very pure-hearted, and I feel this incessant need to protect her. I feel like she reminds me of some of the younger soldiers from my old command. Just needs a little bit of guidance. Maybe I could set her on the right path, you know.
So much.
I love that. I want to say, for not having played together as a group, y'all are doing everything 100% right. I'm just gonna put that right now. Gold stars all around. We all get an extra carrot stick at recess or whatever.
Yes.
And then you also have a partner. This is, you read it. You got the sheet.
It says, so obviously that was the question I was actually saying was answered. Rain and I together helped a faction take control of a clearing and share responsibility for it. I believe that we had pretty much established that we helped against Asian incursion. I think it was Willow's Peak.
Yes,
Marion
at Willow's
de
Peak.
Shah.
Willow's Peak. That is perfect.
Also, Miguel, really quickly, what was the name of the noble that Rain resembles?
Crawley Four Talons.
Crawley Four Talons.
Crawley Four Talons. Thank you.
And then right four, like the number.
Box. Yeah, 4 hyphen talons.
I love that so much. Crawley, little crow, Crawley.
So much for using my NPC template. Everything is just one massive text box right now. Okay, so
no one's judging.
Taking the clearing helped repel the, say, in Willow's Peak. Can I spin this a little bit?
Yes.
To match both the story we've established and also the conditions of the connection itself. So yes, you two held a position, or whatever it is you did. You helped ensure that the Marquise did not take Willow's Peak. Right, it was very important. It was a very pitched battle. It was back and forth. The Marquise with the superior arms and stuff, the Willow's Peak with the height advantage because they're literally at the top of a mountain coming down. But y'all were supposed to hold Urandero Falls, the airy clearing just to the south of Willow's Peak, of the mountain itself. And due to your shifting and going to help with the defenses of the peak itself, the clearing did fall under the control of the Marquise. So that's the shared responsibility that you two have. You neglected your post and thinking you were needed somewhere else more, and then eventually left the clearing unguarded enough that it was
that fits with my background.
Taken down.
Maybe that's my tarnish, just that I was helping, but everyone thinks I'm a deserter.
Yeah, that's look at that. Y'all just came back around. Y'all are so
it's
smart.
all coming together.
And that's probably why Rain wanted to prove themselves in the Civil War that happened. They wanted to prove that they could follow orders and be a good soldier, and then everything unraveled.
Write one more thing down about Rain. Oh, and that's the wrong. I'm going to write that down under the wrong vagabond.
Oh no.
No.
Right?
I've just gotten real wacky with this.
Stick is a war veteran now. Congrats, Stick.
Involuntary war criminal.
And she has no idea.
And she doesn't even know.
I was going to say, this
It's a
actually
big
works
surprise to everyone.
Why
works
are they
out really
chasing
well.
me?
It does. I'm a big fan.
I actually do have a possum plushie, so when we go to break, I'll go grab it.
I own
Nice.
possum earrings and I forgot to wear them.
You gotta
I
get them
know.
on.
You
I
can go find
know.
them on break.
Maybe I'll have to see if I remember
Maybe.
where I put them.
Okay, so that's we did it. Everybody, is that everyone's connections or just yeah? That was good.
Yes.
those were my
We
two.
Okay.
do.
All right, that's it. Good night, everybody.
Woo! Wow, that was incredible. Good job.
No, see, I said you have too many bookmarks. What's the point? So yeah, last thing we need to do for character creation or character introductions is we need to do a fun little thing that is kind of like our how did we first get together? 43, and then you go to here. Don't worry, y'all. I was super prepared for all of this.
It's all good.
Oh, there's the reputation track I was looking for before. I was trying to. Okay. Oof. I know. I have to do this. I have to do this better. I'm just gonna look at my quick reference. Oh, look, Miguel. Technology. Just in case anybody knows, I hate PDFs. I love books, so I don't like these things release reads. Guess what isn't actually in the quick start guide? Someone dance, please. While I'm looking in this book. Yes, keep it up.
Pure entertainment.
Yep. This is the most entertaining thing you will watch all week.
Hit the Macarena.
Here we go.
I mean, it's classic. You can't. Okay, cool.
It was the first. It was the first bookmark. So this is your daring exploit. You all did something awesome. Where your band of vagabonds had a daring exploit. We'll just call it that. So I need from somebody a singular D6 roll. This is how it's determined. Someone called dibs. I saw Cassidy. I saw you reaching for something, so I'm assuming you have a die in your hand.
Oh,
I do.
Then go for it.
I'll do it.
Crazy.
I wasn't gonna volunteer,
I
but
just saw you.
was
I just saw you
prepared.
moving your arm. I'm like, I know it.
I'm
I know what's
prepared.
happening.
It's a 1.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
It works.
Meat stick.
I love that.
It's very
No, that's
stick.
literally I love like the lower a result in my mind, the better, because that means it's funnier. So
Okay. And then so one is very interesting. You four helped create a new path. So you were altering the map that I spent like 5 days making.
oh no.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it's meant to be. This is
Love it.
exactly what this step is meant to be. Like you all do something daring, something big, something that actually like changes the landscape of Midwater, of the woodland. So this is it. Somehow you created a new path, one that is not represented on the map currently, between 2 clearings. So I can, to make it easier, tell you the clearings that are not connected by a path right now directly. There could be one between Curandero Falls and Carlota's Keep. There could be one between Carlota's Keep and Red Paw Manor, Willow's Peak, and no, that wouldn't. Well, that would cross Willow's Peak and almost anywhere else. Well, it only has one path that leads to it specifically, but a bunch of paths that lead to that one, if that makes sense. Hayfield connects to just about everything, so that wouldn't work. You could do Wellbury to Hollowstone, Wellbury to Red Paw Manor. Really just look at the map, and any 2 that don't have like one of these paths connecting them, you could do, or you all could. Someone else could roll a die again, and we'll just pick a random clearing and see what it's not connected to.
Does anyone have
Personally-
any votes for the clearing?
I was gonna say personally, I'm a fan of Red Paw Manor and Carlotta's Keep, but I'm not attached to it. That's just the first one that comes to my mind when looking at the map.
So they aren't actually connected. Like if you go, so
I guess that's true.
if I said otherwise, I'm bad. So yeah, the map, the path going south from Red Paw Manor splits so that it goes directly into Willow's Peak and then it continues on to Carlota's Keep as well.
I think Rain is a character I think would advocate for a path from Carlotta's Keep to Curandero Falls.
Oh, that would okay.
I was gonna say that purely because I feel bad for anyone trying to get there from anywhere to the right. They have to go so far.
They can travel south through the marshes and go through Gramble's Log. Gramble's Log has a path that connects up to Carlota's Keep, but you're right, there is no direct path.
So
And it would make it a lot easier for the Airy dynasty to get there. And I
Mhm.
think it's sort of Rain's way of apologizing and trying to clear a little bit of that guilt.
Right, and really nobody but the water folk like going through the marshes anyway.
Yeah. Water's gross. We all know
Water's
that.
gross.
It's gross.
That's
See,
why I'm a toad specifically, so I didn't have to be near water. So
Should yeah. Any objections to creating a new path
I love
between
that.
between Carlota's Keep and Curandero Falls? What's cool about this is you will all will mark both a prestige and a notoriety with both of those factions. So it was good and it was bad. Everyone liked it and everyone hated it.
so true.
Man,
How exactly
yeah,
did y'all
how
build
do
the
we
path?
the
Like, yeah.
Marquis really don't like Rain.
Do you have a number yet? Or are you still on?
Yeah, I'm at
check boxes?
-1 and then +1 for Airy dynasties.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because a lot of their perceived rejection is just in their head because they didn't stick around long enough for anyone to be like, hey, no one's
Mhm.
mad at you. We get it. Please don't leave. They were just like, oh, no consequences for my actions today.
No,
I have a -1 on the Airy dynasty.
Oh no.
I mean that's how it be. Okay, sorry, I'm just pulling up a big
I'm chilling.
list of things.
Everybody likes River.
Everyone likes me. Everyone hates me a little. I'm just a little guy. Honk honk. That's it.
I feel like that's very Gossip Girl of River.
Yes. Exactly. That is. The vibe is just. You like me, hate me. Do you want a little shiny? Yes. No. Okay. Moving on.
Okay, so we've established who our characters are, who our connections are, how we all know each other, what our daring feat was, and don't get it twisted. Y'all are going to be known throughout the woodland, for this. So this may be something like, you were the ones that made that new path. I hate it, or I love it. But the one cool thing is that now that we have this new path between those two clearings, anytime y'all travel that path, you get a +1 to your roll, because traveling between clearings does require a roll to determine what dangers happen, what resources you have to deplete, whether it be exhaustion or that. What's the other one? Sorry, your resources. Pockets one. Great.
Injury, depletion,
Hold?
no, it's not hold.
I promise I know how to play this game.
Where?
Oh, where?
No,
Yeah,
not
it's
where. That's on
exhaustion.
your
So there's injury, exhaustion, and depletion.
Depletion, that's the one. So depletion is just like random stuff that you have. It's like your miscellaneous equipment. So if you ever want to say like, I pull out a crumpled origami, like cool, clear it. You have it. You just have to lose a depletion and then refill it somehow later. It's like your pocket stuff, right? It's any plot appropriate things that you need in the moment. You can just like burn a depletion for. Depletion is especially important for the tinker because you will use it for like everything. Because you're always going to be, oh yeah, I have those screws right here, and then market depletion. Okay, so we did all the character stuff. Does anyone want to elaborate any other things about their vagabond? Ask any last minute questions. Ask what the hell was the point of the connections anyway?
Why do we like each other?
Yeah.
Why are we even here?
Mm-hmm.
I do have a quick question, not about connections or about our daring adventure. It's just a technical question about equipment. You kind of jog my memory with the depletion mention.
Oh, yeah, y'all have
Um,
equipment, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Just like we have it, right? Cool. Awesome.
No, I'm asking. Like,
Yeah,
did
we
you
do.
select equipment like for yourself?
Yeah, I
Uh,
did.
At
Neat stuff. So
do
yeah,
that
you get
later.
like a certain amount of value that you get to spend on just basic equipment. There's a list of stuff that you can have in the quick start guide, and there's a more elaborate stuff. One of my favorite things to do as a GM in this game is to make random equipment and give it to y'all. So
Sweet.
and it could be like as simple as like you have a cloak and a sword. Maybe you don't have a sword, you just have a cloak. You have a hammer, not stick, not your hammer. That's special. That's different.
Yeah.
But you know, like you're carrying a warhammer around. You have a bow and arrow. You have leather armor. You have chainmail. You have special boots that have springs in them and make you jump higher. That could be a thing.
That's
Sorry,
fun.
that's but in my stuff. So let's sidebar on equipment. We don't want to waste everybody's time deciding
Yeah.
what kind of longbow
Just
you want
like
and things.
Starting with it, cool. That was basically it.
Just know you should have stuff, and it should
Sweet.
also have weight and stuff, encumbrance counts, which is all has to do with your might. Anyway, so we set the. Why did I think doing connections and stuff on stream would be a good idea? Anyway, we live and learn. So the four of you have been traveling for some time now. It's been an amount of time since your daring exploit, since you created this new clearing between the the new path between the clearings of Curandero Falls and Carlotes Keep. Carlotes Keep, being under the control of the Airy dynasties, a kind of stronghold of theirs in the south, and Curandero Falls, a former Airy dynasty clearing, which was overtaken by the Marquise, but remains in a kind of constant state of scrimmage with Willow's Peak. Willow's Peak being on top of this mountain where the bright wing eagles have their little tower castle in the sky, where the clearing itself is actually inside of the mountains. The tunnels and caves have been dug through. Right, so daily the eagles are sending birds down with spears and bows and arrows, and the Marquise is repelling them, and then they start climbing the mountain to try to get up there, and it's a whole thing. And y'all just helped escalate that situation by making it easier for the Airy to reinforce their position. Way to go. But we are far from there. We find ourselves on the road leading to Hollowstone, probably the most remote clearing of all of Midwater. Hollowstone is located in the northwest on a peninsula in the Endless Sea. Now, despite its name, the Endless Sea is not endless. It was thought to be once until traders and travelers from the northern shore, wherever that may be, started arriving in the woodland via ship, harboring at Hollowstone, Anuras Crossing, and Red Paw Manor, all of which sit on the southern shore of the lake, which is the north of our woodland. So Hollowstone may be remote, but it is not like a sleepy little hamlet like Quaffletown might be. It's been able to carve a name out for itself in Midwater. They have a modest dock that supports the local fisher community, right? Feeding not just themselves, but able to trade down south as far as Wellbury. They have a port for ships from, say, the Riverfolk Company coming down over the lake from the north. Other merchants, traders that are coming from other parts of Midland and beyond, right? And the clearing is also known for a mine that is nearby, provides various metals, minerals, and stuff. So the clearing's done pretty well for itself, despite being just far from pretty much everything else. Very hard to get to if you're not traveling by boat, since you have to go up this peninsula all the way to the north, up from Anura's crossing. But that's the path we find ourselves in. We're in a wagon being driven by a rabbit, and in the passenger seat of said wagons is another rabbit. They run a little courier and whatever business between some of the clearings here in the west. They'll take passengers from one place to another, mail, sundry goods, those sort of things, just delivering things from one place to another for denizens that need the assistance. They work sort of as a direct, like a small time direct competition to the pigeon post, which is a postal service, delivery service that has locations throughout the whole wood. Like any clearing you go to, you're going to find a pigeon post office and pigeons just pecking away at your containers, at your packages before they send them off. Despite its name, the pigeon post rarely actually delivers anything but letters over them in the air. It's just too heavy for them to fly with, so they darn wagons and carts, just like everyone else, really. The two rabbits driving your wagon are Frisco and Biscuit. They are brothers. They're just kind of yammering, talking to themselves, like not really paying the two of you any. I keep saying two. There's like definitely twice as many of you than that. The four of you any attention. You're sitting in the back, kind of crammed, along with barrels of like pickled vegetables and fish and other things, bolts of fabric, what have you. It is getting on evening, and you can see from your spot the sort of lights on the outside of the clearing. There are torches that are set on the exterior of like a tall wooden wall that surrounds the main part of Hollowstone. You pass by a path that comes off of the main road and heads into the north. It's just like one solitary sign, pointing down the path. It just says the Old Mine. As you pass that, you start getting towards sort of the outskirts of the clearing. Even outside of the wall, there are some sort of like open air stalls and some other tents and things set up. I know some small homes of denizens that just don't, are setting up outside of Hollowstone proper for whatever reasons. You get up to the gate and you hear a guard, stop the wagon, and them and Frisco strike up a conversation. He's telling you like we're carrying this and that. Biscuit looks back at y'all and kind of like taps the side of the wagon. He's like, all right, last stop. This is you four. Thank you for choosing us as your travel partners for this trip up to Anura. He's just like flipping through like a script. He's like, that's not Anura's crossing. We're in Hollowstone. You folks are going to Hollowstone and we're here. Get off my wagon.
Rain will get off of the wagon, sort of stretch their wings a little bit. I don't think they enjoyed being cramped very much, and they certainly are not enjoying the prospect of going into the mine. If that is a prospect that is happening. They're a little bit wary of mining towns and of the people within the town.
Okay.
River's seeing if there's anything shiny in this wagon before getting out.
Let's say no. You have.
Oh man!
You had a very long.
Getting out of this wagon.
You had a very long ride to search all of this stuff thoroughly, and it's, as mentioned before, it's just like not quite household goods, right? But just like things you might find, just like everyday things, like things that you'd find in a general store. Nothing necessarily shiny or of value or whatever, unless you want to like steal a jar of pickled herring.
I think River's just like looking over to Stick and just pulling things out as they've been in the wagon and being like, could we sell this? Is there any spin we can put on this? No? Okay, putting it back. What about this? What if you make it look super sparkly? No? Okay, cool.
Stick has
And then
been
just like
feverishly repairing like a dislodged like nail on the wagon and just like fixing it because it bugs her that it's broken.
Let's say you've actually
still
broken
doing
into.
that? Okay, cool.
There is like there are nails that were for sale, like boxes of them. You've got like you've just ripped one open. There's like some others scattered around there, and you're just like,
This is for their benefit. It's fine.
Just hammering
Yeah.
away.
she's like, it's a write-off.
Yeah.
Love it.
Right. No, that's great. So just tinkering along.
Well,
So
Livy
as you all
just looks back at the
Sorry, go.
rabbits, very intimidating.
Mhm.
Doesn't say anything as she steps off and just lets out a big croak.
is there any like is it just like you just like you know when you have like big science stretch when that and you get a car from a long road trip, or is there any meaning to the croak?
Nope, no, it was just basically a big stretch. Imagine she was just in this position for a long time. So,
Mhm.
no,
As you let it out, there are you hear responses from within the clearing and around. There's like maybe a few other croaks that you hear, and as a frog person, you can interpret as just like a sort of like a chorus of "Keep it down, people are trying to sleep."
Shut up. We're trying to snooze.
Yeah, exactly that. I'm in the middle of dinner. Something like that.
Quiet.
So yeah, the four of you get out of the wagon. As you, Lily, as you're the last one to step off, the wagon, you hear like a little "yeah," and as the oxen beetles, yeah, because they don't have horses here. That'd be weird.
Yeah.
This isn't Redwall. There's not a rat on a giant cart with a horse, with a full-size horse. That's not happening. That was just weird. The four of you approach the entrance to Hollowstone itself, and a guard, a mouse with a little, it's like a little stick, little baton, right? And then another mouse with a clipboard. They're both wearing these little little tunics over just some pretty basic leather armors. So the tunic, though, you're a little surprised to see it because it is the color and the markings of the Marquise, but different than you've seen. It doesn't look like they don't look like soldiers. They don't look like town guards, but it's definitely the style of the Marquise. Let me just.
Rain fluffs up their face feathers a little bit, trying to kind of obscure their face.
A little like that. Yeah, the first one, the one with the clipboard, approaches y'all. It's like, what business do you have with us here in Hollowstone? I'm Constable Jordan. This is Pam. We're in charge of the gate here at night. Don't have you. They're just like flipping through sheets on this clipboard. It's like, we don't have you on the schedule. You lost?
Oh, hello, Jordan, Pam. I'm reaching out my wing for a shake.
Pam's like hearty handshake. Jordan, like, courteous, but not as enthusiastic.
Okay. Clearly, you can see we're here to, just see if we can sell some fine wares to the Marquis. I mean, just stopping by, seeing what we can do.
Selling wares. Jordan, like, just consulting that clipboard, selling wares.
You don't have us on the list? Oh, that's...
Here we go.
Wow.
So, things I don't know, the last time you folks were in Hollowstone, things changed a little bit around here. You can't just come in the walls of the clearing and sell wares. You'll have to make an appointment with the... Do you have a name yet?
Excuse me, Pam.
The Master of Trade.
It was Pam, right? That was your name?
It sure is. Pam
Your
says.
stick's gonna break.
No, what now?
Your stick. You're holding the stick.
Oh, Pam looks down at her baton, and there is indeed just like a crack all the
So
way up.
stick is gonna pull one from her her stick crown and just like reinforce it real quick with like a chisel and just like replace the stick and then put the broken stick where the one she just gave was.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can see all the things we have to offer here.
Go ahead and mark a depletion for that. But Pam is like so impressed. It's like, wow, that's really something.
I like sticks.
And then she sort of looks at Jordan. She's like, you see, I knew. I told you the last time I bashed a skull in that this I felt a little off after that.
Stick here is rather.
There is a war on, she says. Yeah, we had some airy raiders come up through the woods not too long ago, and me and Jordan here had to fend them off. There was, probably like 15 of them. Pam says, just kind of like puffing up her little mouse body and like.
Very subtly.
Probably need a lot more sticks then.
Little tough stuff.
You see very subtly just kind of Lily adjusting herself to make her even bigger, but doesn't say anything. Body language.
When River says you need more sticks, Stick pulls out like 2 more and just like sticks.
They're like, well, appreciated, but we have our Jordan just picks up the convoy. As I was saying, you'll need to make an appointment with the Master of Trade to get a permit to set up a stall. There'll be stall fees, of course, the taxes on top of it. We'll let the trade master work that all out with you. But very impressed your friend's craftsmanship here. So, old Jordan's gonna put in a good word for you folks. But for now, I suggest you find an inn.
My name's Stick.
Yes, she's
Jordan writes it down. Stick. Very handy with the tools.
Yes, she loves sticks. It's her calling, some might say.
And where should we be finding an inn if we can't get in?
Oh no, they're letting you in. They're just saying you can't sell anything while you're here until you make your appointment or until you've got a permit.
Okay.
How do we make the appointment? Is it something that just in the morning we go?
Yes, in the morning you make your way to City Hall or Clearing Hall. We're just gonna say City Hall. It's a headache trying to figure out another name for it. The town center. No, you head up to the administrative office. The mayor is there. The whole town council, including the Master of Trade, do work out of there. Signing and stamping all of their official documents and things.
Yes.
We have a receptionist. His name is Clark. Kent. Clark.
Love that name. I'll be sure to say hello.
We'll say that's not his last name. But Clark.
The clerk.
Clark the clerk. Cannon. That's it. Ship it.
Wow, perfect.
He'll send you to the appropriate waiting room and everything. You'll get everything done. And chip chop chip. And he's like, oh, but right. And he like tears off sort of like a little perforated bit of paper. And it's just like he hands it to one who takes it. Like he just like fills it out and then he's like, well, you take this with you. Yeah, absolutely. Your envoy just snatches it right up. River, you look at it and it's just like, it just says like official voucher. And then it's like a little, form filled and says, Jordan, Pam. He puts both their names. I, Jordan and Pam, vouch for this denizen, good for, and there's like another blank, one visit with the Master of Trade. And then there's
incredible.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. We will be going in then. Amazing. Wonderful. We better be off to see this Master of Trade. Wonderful.
Wonderful stuff, right? So yeah, with that, they let you in the clearing. You make your way.
I'm not going to the Master of Trade.
Just like look it up as you.
Absolutely not. It's nonsense.
Can Rain grab the paper as River tosses it away?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think we should probably go to the Master of Trade. You know, some of us can't really attract too much attention.
The heat is on after all.
It's
That's
me.
true.
I can't attract too much
That's
attention.
very true. That's very true. I suppose we can go there. I don't like to sell things the official way. It's just not as fun. So
Listen, we can at least go there that way if we're not selling things the official way and then they come and they're like, "Hey, are you doing this the official way?" We can pull out our permits and we can say, "Of course we are. We're bamboozling them."
okay. I like that. We can definitely swing by once we find a place to settle.
And as soon as River looks away, Rain leans over to Lily and just goes, "We're not going to bamboozle them. There are laws for a reason."
Agreed. Just
Yeah, you make your way into the clearing, and it's a pretty lively place, right? We'll say, question for the group: has anyone been to Hollowstone before? It's okay to say no.
Stick might have, because Stick is from the nearby clearing of
Miller's
Rain-
Crossing.
Wilbury.
Oh, Wilbur.
Rain
Yeah.
might
Wilbury.
have, just because of Airy Dynasty war stuff
Mm-hmm.
and the ongoing war campaigns. As a knight, I think that they would probably be pretty well traveled, but specifically to the Marquise areas, just
Mhm.
because that's where the most fighting is happening.
Right.
And sticks to the Marquise areas as well, because they're the most advanced for tinkering and such.
Mm-hmm. So we'll say for both of you, this is things are very different from the last time we were in Hollowstone. Hollowstone, to the best of your knowledge, has always been a mostly independent clearing, denizen run, right? Both its remote location and other factors that just made it like less made it harder for either the area or the Marquise to really, take it under their direct control. So I would say, Rain, you especially were surprised by the constables at the front there, that they weren't the normal town guard you're used to here in Hollowstone. As far as you know, it's still run by a local mayor. The title is hereditary, so that is bullshit. But there's also a town council made of appointed people from throughout the community of Hollowstone, et cetera, et cetera. There's no, again, as far as there's no Marquise like baron or general or sheriff running the town, anything like that. But you can see their presence, right? There are shops that are run by cats. They all have funny cat names, like, I don't know, Buttons Bagels, something like that. A little cat named Button Nose running a bagel shop.
Aww.
Getting getting flour all over the little paws all day. Ugh.
Aww.
Needing the
amount of-
biscuit.
The amount of hair in all those pastries.
Oh, that's so gross.
They wear gloves. There's,
Food safety.
they're
Who-
SERP safe
Who
certified.
gives them gloves? How did they make them?
You all have like hands,
I'm just
Ew.
imagining the claws retracting
Yeah.
in the gloves and just
You're not like a
shredding them.
full-on like animal. You're a little like anthropomorphized, little cool cartoon person. So you have
Fair enough.
arms. Yeah, it's like the kind of general rule in Root is like, just don't ask questions, right? You're a
Fair
bird,
enough.
but you also have hands. Don't worry about it.
Don't think too hard.
My hands are
Don't-
my wings and my wings are my hands.
Don't ask where the cheese is coming from.
Yep.
Exactly.
Just
Don't
don't.
ask. Don't. It's
What do
there.
you eat? You don't want to know.
Don't
Fair
think
enough.
about it too hard, folks.
Yeah, let's just not worry about it. Yeah, I don't even know what we were talking about. So yeah, it's different. You see a lot of shops. You see more of these strange guards walking around until you actually come across what looks to be a guard station. It's a building that's a little more reinforced than the others around here. There's a few more. There's like quite a few of them on the perimeter of the building, up against the walls, entrances and stuff. And there's a big sign that says, sorry. It just says Princeton's Privateers, Constables for Hire, a product of Le Monde de Quête.
Rain is full feathers fluffed up, face, body, everything, sort of like a little walking puffball, and just eyes darting everywhere. One wing hand hovering over by their short sword.
Mm-hmm.
They are very on edge and sort of drifting over to their battle partner, Lily.
Do you say anything, Lily?
Like, I don't remember those guys being here last time.
No, they weren't there. They haven't been here as far as I can remember. I mean, when I was out here on my post, it was kind of a pretty chill job, There wasn't a big presence because they were so isolated.
Makes me wonder what they're doing up here.
Yeah, why do they need this place so bad?
Not like there's too many resources or anything coming in.
I guess it's just the fishing and the mining, but that raises the question, what's in the mines?
What's in the mines?
I mean, they did mention earlier with the, Jordan and Pam, the stick. Remember stick? Yeah, there's something's happening with the mines. I don't like it. Unless they have a lot of shinies in the mine, that would be good news. But
that is where shinies come from traditionally, is mines.
True. Shinies that people want. So
I mean, we could make our own shinies.
That we could. Stick has made quite a few.
Natural shinies usually come from the mines, so that's usually what they want them for.
Yes, but why so high in value currently?
Question, do we know what kind of mine it is? Like, what resource is it? Or do we just think it's just like a generic mine? Right?
You're unsure. Well, no, we'll say the mine is old. Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with myself. Y'all know enough basic info about Hollowstone that it's an iron mine. They be mining that for making steel, weapons, ship parts, metal things.
Yeah.
One big after the Marquise invaded the woodland and took Wellbury and Savannah's Blessing, 2 clearings to the south of here, Hollowstone, began a pretty lucrative trade partnership with them, selling them ore, so that they could process it and shape it into things at the Marquise's workshops and stuff, while also, maintaining kind of tenuous / friendly relationship with other factions, right? They were never really committed one way or the other, but the longer the war went on, the deeper their connection with the Marquise become because of proximity and because the Marquise kept buying up that iron,
So they're just a bunch of sellouts.
I mean, many, denizens all have varying opinions on all the factions of the Marquise, the Airy dynasty. Some are sick of the Airy, and they're like, these birds, they're old, they don't get it. They're like, 90-year-old senators who just refuse to resign. The Marquise is bringing new and exciting things to the woodland. They're making good on their promise to bring order and bring Midwater up to the 20th century. That's not where we are. But oh my God, it's the 21st. My life just flashed before my eyes. Right? Yeah. So yeah, it happens that here they're a little more friendly towards the Marquise just because they've seen, the advantages of their presence. Who can blame them? You can. You can blame them.
I was about to say, I can actually.
We can.
That's what you see as you're coming in, right? there's not a lot of improper things that you see, right? There's not like people stumbling around. It's late at night, so you expect maybe a little more mirth and merriment out of people who are out and about in the clearing, but it's just very like quiet and sterile, if that makes sense, right?
Mhm.
Big
Yeah.
like Stepford vibes as you go through, and everyone's just like, it seems like everyone knows where they're supposed to be, and then they stay there. They stay in their lane,
Very orderly.
Even that is just like obvious to y'all as you go through, eventually you do come across a tavern and inn. It's fairly close to the entrance here in Hollowstone. It's like the first one you see. Big, swingy, hangy sign there above. It's called the Tusk and Talon, and the signage itself has like this really good, really beautiful wood carving and painting, or whatever. Both, right? It's carved and it's painted in of a boar with a halberd fighting an eagle with a great sword, and they're just like, clashing. You could look for another place too. I don't
Brain's a little uncomfortable, but since it's so close, they will sort of poke their head in, look around. What do they see? Who do they see? Who sees them?
Yep. You poke your head in, just like kind of like the door real quick, and it sounds to me like you are attempting to read a tense situation.
That is correct, I am.
So let's go ahead and roll with cunning and see what happens.
Fantastic. I took
Yes.
always watching, so I got to increase my cunning and something else.
Yes, and
First
now we're
roll.
finally rolling dice.
First roll. Okay, that's pretty good. So this is going to be a total of, I promise I can do math, 11.
Absolutely. So you get to ask 3 of the 5 questions listed, and then you also get to take a +1 when acting on those answers. So that +1 would be a forward, not a hold, and so you keep that +1 as long as what you're doing is acting on the information you receive from your read of the sitch.
All right, incredible. So, first question, what should I be on the lookout for?
Yeah, you scan the room. No one has really looked up to see you opening the room. Everyone's kind of, in their own business. It's a fairly normal looking tavern room, food hall as well. There are long bench style tables, going from the back of the place up to the front. Smaller ones kind of along the wall as well. There's a big, really fine, like maintained like oak bar. I don't know what oak looks like. Some kind of wood, and it's polished and everything, really fancy with like brass trimmings and everything, right? A badger stands behind the bar, like cleaning a mug of ale with a towel, classic scene. There are a few of the tables are occupied. Some of the areas on the long benches are as well. Not too busy or anything like that, but there is a trio of these Marquise constables kind of huddled in a table to themselves near the back, kind of on the left, on the far end behind the bar. So not behind the bar, but like far, back from it. So I would say, yeah, that's who you should be on the lookout for, if especially, with your apprehension displaying and everything.
All right, I may already know the answer to this, but this is still an important question. Who is in control here?
It's the badger.
The badger,
Right.
fantastic.
Holds a
I
very
love that badger.
commanding presence in the place. You can just get the vibe. You think he's the type of badger that no, we'll just say it's very it's overt, it's not subtle. Very like Yawning Portal style. There is like a like a huge war hammer sitting on the mantle above the bar.
I love that.
There's a placard above it that just says "Problem Solver."
Hell yes.
So
Incredible.
That's
Love it.
that's who's in charge here.
All
And you get one
right.
more.
One
of
more.
our list.
Who or what is most vulnerable to me?
Oh. That's a good question. You're the Ronin.
Got a sword and I got a bow.
You got a sword and bow. Let's say my answer is going to be kind of leading, I guess. But there is another table where there is just a singular a wolf sitting, sort of black furred wolf with gray and silver streaks, like here and here, getting on in years. There are more empty glasses on the table than there should be for someone sitting alone. This wolf is also dressed in the uniform of these Marquise constables, but with more pomp to it, right? It's a little fancier. There's more little lines right here to denote rank and stuff. This wolf looks absolutely miserable.
He's not sitting with his constable buddies.
As far from them as possible.
So Rain sticks their head back out where the rest of their friends are. Okay, so there's some stuff in there. There are 3 constables that are Marquise, so that's probably not the best. There's also one other one who seems a bit higher ranking, but he seems really, really sad. Like, I think he's kind of drowned himself in alcohol, which is definitely a choice. And we don't disrespect choices, but also I think he could use some therapy. And there's but positive, there's a badger, and the badger has a big old hammer stick, you'll like that, called Problem Solver, and it looks like the badger seems to be in charge, so we might have a little
Holds
less
up her
trouble.
tiny hammer, like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, but like this big.
Big. Go in.
All right, yeah, you can ask him about the hammer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to the really sad man. Does anyone want to talk to the really sad man with me?
You should bring him soup.
I should bring him soup. Soup makes everything better.
It's a good cure-all.
I'll go order soup, and Stick is gonna go right up to the bar. 2 soup, please.
I'm gonna follow, but I also want to get to know this bartender.
Okay. Yeah, you walk up to the bartender. He sets down the glass with 2 soups. Absolutely.
2 soup.
Pleasure to meet you. Name's Benny Blanco.
I'm Stick. I like your big hammer.
One of my go-to bartender names. You must be talking about Problem Solver. Thank you so
I have
much.
one of those too.
Benny looks at your hammer, examines it. He's like,
it solved problems too.
may I say that is fantastic.
Thank you.
I love it. Welcome to the Tuscan Talon. Just with big open arms, welcomes you both. 2 soups. Well, we have general, onion and leek stew or soup. We have it every day. It's sort of a staple around here. There's also a very lively stone soup